Stay tuned as we take a look at this Marvel Select Sandman. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And today we are taking a look at this Marvel Select Marvel's Sandman, the Look Collector's figure with diorama base as the box states. Now, I don't usually review a lot of Marvel Selects because I don't usually buy many. They don't really come out that often and the scale's all over the place, to be honest. But every now and then you can sort of get one of these Marvel Select figures into your Marvel Legends display when it's for those bigger characters, because you can sort of fudge the display a little bit. So I am hoping this guy will fit in scale with my Marvel Legends, as of course the Sandman is a little bit bigger of a character. So obviously I will do a full comparison with the Marvel Legends Sandman Build-A-Figure that we got a few years back, as that was missing some important accessories in my opinion, mainly those interchangeable hands. We never got any depowered hands, so at least with this version we can have a whole depowered version of Sandman, but we still get some nice effect pieces as well. So a big window open box where you can see, again, a lot bigger than your average Marvel Legend packaging, and we're getting that sand mace. Again, we had a Marvel Legends version, now we're getting one with Marvel Select. We're getting this sort of stand as well where you can put half his body onto, which I'm really liking the look of. We get some interchangeable hand, normal and sand effect, and we even get a sand base by the looks of it as well. So let me spin it all the way around. On the back we're getting some promo shots of Sandman and then some more figures from Marvel Select. As I said, unfortunately I don't really have many, but that's Spider-Man and the classic Green Goblin. Diamond Select Toys, of course, what make these figures, and it says on the box it's 7-inch scale with 16 points of articulation, and on the side here we're getting a comic book image of the Sandman. So yeah, I don't usually buy a lot of these, but it looks like a nice figure. When they first showed it off, whenever it was, I think at Toy Fair, it was something that I've kept my eye on, and I had to pick it up and see for myself. So let's hope it doesn't disappoint and open it up. So here we have Flint Marko out the box with all of the accessories on the table. And to be fair, there's quite a few accessories considering the price point. I didn't even notice this sort of accessory right at the back of the box. Don't even know what you call this. But there's the mace that we've seen before. And this is the base that I really like the look of as well. We get a stand as well for the figure, but obviously he's standing now, so he doesn't need that. But it's a nice touch. We also get some powered up sort of sand hands, a fist and an open hand, which some have some really nice detail on. And we also get some normal hands as well. So I like the option that we can have at Flint Marko, all incognito with no sand powers. That's what we never got with the Marvel Legends, unfortunately. He always had powered up hands, and sometimes you just want your figures looking civilian on the shelf, and obviously he's got a very iconic look with that sort of stripy green sort of jumper top and the sort of Norman Osborn style of hair. So if you have this figure on the shelf, any Spider-Man fan will know it's Flint Marko, it's Sandman. So it would have been nice for Marvel Legends to give us this option. Unfortunately not, but Marvel Select did. But it's nice to know that we can also have a play around with some of these. So I will sort of switch out these accessories, see what he looks like with them on, of course, as well. I'll get into some comparisons. But yeah, I just wanted to see what everything looked like on the table first. And so far, looking good. So let's take a closer look at Flint Marko, and as I said, it's a nice looking figure. Incognito, Flint Marko, you wouldn't know it was Sandman walking around the streets unless obviously you knew who Flint Marko was. He seems to have high trousers, a bit like Simon Cowell, but it works for the character, and it's a decent sort of looking body. Now the articulation isn't going to be as good as Marvel Legends. I think Marvel Legends are unique in regards to they have more points of articulation than any other license. That's how Marvel Select can still get away with making Marvel figures, but they still have a few decent elements. So you're still going to be able to get this guy in a few poses. They may not be your best bet for ACBA, but if you're like me, where you just get them in a nice pose and they're forever on the display, then it's going to work. There is articulation at the elbows. Everything is a little bit stiff though. As in, you can hear the joints squeaking. So I would advise warming it up. But the articulation is where you sort of want it. Double jointed knees, not much of an ankle pivot, but there is some sort of movement. There's only single jointed arms, but that's normal for big characters. The head doesn't have much movement on it, but as you can see, the waist moves a lot. And then he's only got the out. Oh, he does have a swivel there as well. So there is articulation, but not as much for a Marvel Legend as you would expect. So we know he can go all incognito, but let's put on some sand effects and then we can zoom in and check out the details because it is a nicely painted figure. So as you could see me doing there, you can pull off the Thor arms. There you go. So they're a bit squeaky. I would suggest warming them up first, but let's put on some of these effects. So here is the fist sand effects. And again, I've not warmed these up and they seem to fit in okay for me. So now we have a fisted Sandman. So while we've got that in play, let's zoom in and we'll check out some of these details. So here's a closer look at Flint Marko, and as I said, I do quite like the facial expression and the sort of sculpt and the paint. They've done a decent job. Sort of angry sort of face, but I like it. He's got the same hairstyle as Norman Osborn. They clearly go to the same barbers, but I don't know what you call that hairstyle. Would have been good to get some interchangeable faces, maybe an angry expression or a half sand expression like the Marvel Legend one give us. But if they're only going to give us one, this one is decent. The green jumper's decent enough. The lines sort of don't match up. Like the sculpted lines are there, but they don't match up with the actual jumper. Now you can't tell unless you actually proper look at the figure. But yeah, you can see that the sculpted lines are there, but the painted lines just missed the mark. But again, from a distance, you're not going to be able to tell, but it's noticeable close up if you're paying attention to that type of thing. The fisted hand, as I said, that's some of the sand effects. Really good job. Not going to lie, they've done a really good job. I like the sort of the colour they've gone for there. It's still like the skin blends into the sand. Yeah, they've done a decent job there. The texture is nice as well, and they've obviously got enough for a black wash there so you can see all the sculpt, and that's just one of the hands. Here's the other sort of creepy hand, and as I said, I think they've done a really good job. This sort of looks like a zombie sand hand, but yeah, the texture's nice there. Definitely looks like sand. You can feel the sort of sculpt in the texture, so yeah, they've done a good job. And the normal hand, again, just looks like a normal fisted hand. Nice skin tone, matches everything else. So yeah, not complaining at all. So I think they've done a good job with the sort of sand elements and then the sort of normal ones as well. And he does have interchangeable hands. So let's try this. So there you go. There goes one hand. And let's put one of these in. So he's got a more grabby hand. And now you can see the joint is just a line. So I'm guessing just, there you go. In it goes. So now he has a grabby hand there and a fisted there. And it doesn't stop there, people. As you can see, I've swapped out the hand, so he's now got the grabby hand, and I've swapped out the normal hand for the mace. So it seems like this side, you can go for the fisted hand or the sort of grabby sand hand. And then on this side is for the more weaponized hands, which is the mace or whatever you call this sort of pointy roller. Now I've took him off at the body, so you can see I've got his legs here. And I've swapped them out. I've swapped them for the sand part, and this was so easy. It is literally, there he is with his legs, pull them apart, and then you plug them in here. And just be careful that you're actually getting the sand element on the outside, so you're not bending them. But that's easy enough done. There you go, done. And now you can display him with his sand base. If I move the camera, you'll be able to see. And yeah, that is looking nice. So now if I've got this guy on my Marvel Legends display, with Spider-Man, of course, I think it works really well. Like, that's a good scale. So yeah, very happy with it. Glad I picked up this Marvel Select now. I always worry about the scale of these type of things. And I like the choices for accessories. Now, as I was showing you earlier, the texture on these are really nice. Definitely looks like sand. Definitely some decent paint. It looks like some decent sculpt with some different shades. And you can sort of see how it twists. It's sort of definitely got emotion to it. Wanted to show you the base as well. The base is the same sort of sand texture, and you can see two sort of pegs and then the peg holes on the bottom of the feet, and it is as simple as that. So you can definitely display your Sandman on his own if you really wanted to. Not a problem. This will make a very nice display piece for any Spider-Man fan or even just Flint Marko fan as it is. Now, these are very sharp, people. Like, these have definitely stabbed me when I was trying to put them in. So be careful with these. I'm not even joking. I'm a grown man and it was stabbing me. But yeah, this is looking good. So with all these accessories, all these interchangeable hands, I don't need to show them your wall. There's plenty of displaying options for this Sandman. So the main comparison I want to see is how does it compare to the Marvel Legends. So as I said, it is going to be a 7-inch scale, and as you can see, he stands at just under 7.5 inches tall, which is similar to your Marvel Legends Builder figures. So the biggest comparison you want to see is what he looks like compared to Spider-Man. Now obviously he may seem a little bit big, but I think that does work for your Marvel Legends sort of scale. Obviously he's a taller character, maybe unrealistically tall, but he is Sandman, he can manipulate himself, and I think you can sort of fudge that into your collection, no doubts at all. So that's just the Pizza Spider-Man, and yeah, I do think if you want to get this guy to fit in with your Marvel Legends, the answer is yes. And if I bring in some more sort of villains, just to show you a different sort of body comparison, let's bring in Rhino. And as you can see, Rhino does stand taller than him, so it will work in regards for that. Let's bring in Venom. And again, Venom is just a little bit shorter than him, but again, I think that body sort of scale works. And then one more, if I move the camera to the side, and let's bring in a suited body, Chameleon, who will struggle to stand and he's knock everyone over. But you can sort of see the body, different body types there with Marvel Legends. And I do think you can sort of fudge this Flint Marko Sandman into scale with your Marvel Legends. So yes, the answer, in my opinion, is yes, you can put this Marvel Select Sandman into your Marvel Legends display. So here it is. Here's your Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Sandman compared to the Marvel Select Sandman. And the Build-A-Figure is actually taller than the Marvel Select. So this guy, again, more proof this will fit nicely into your Marvel Legends collection. Now, as I said, they both come with a mace. And again, I had to warm this up to get it on because it was very pointy. But he will display with it. It will stay up there if you want to display him like that, and he'll still stand up without his base. So again, you just have to finesse it a little bit, but it will work. Shame that it doesn't have articulation on the ankles though. But this guy as well, he had the mace, and again, he did have interchangeable parts, so you could swap it out for a fisted sand hand. But as I said, we've got no depowered hands. Like this is all we got. We could never go Flint Marko incognito like we can with this guy. So again, some simple forearm changes. If I can find all the pieces with me. There you go. There and there. And we have Flint Marko, where this guy was always Sandman. He could never hide. So yeah, there you go. It is completely up to you. I like the Build-A-Figure. I'm not disliking it. I just wanted him to be able to go incognito. I know a lot of people customize some extra absorbing man hands, but I never trust myself doing stuff like that. I'd never got the greens right, for example. But that is an option. But I'm glad I waited and got this Marvel Select. And even with the sand base, I think it works. So again, there's no right or wrong answer with how you display him. See, the Marvel Select is still a little bit shorter than the Build-A-Figure, even with the sand base. And if I bring back in Spider-Man just for your average comparison, you can see it works for both. It genuinely does. No wrong answer. Whatever you prefer, it's up to you. So, final thoughts. I'm really liking it. I'm not going to lie. I brought it to sort of fit in with my Marvel Legends display, and it's going to work. It's very nice. It is undoubtedly Sandman, and I do prefer it when you can sort of display your figures, displaying their abilities on the shelf. And yeah, look at this. It's so simple, but it works. It does the trick. So yeah, happy. So you let me know in the comments below, are you going to try and track this down? Again, if you've been watching Rectangular's channel, he's been saying that Hasbro are going to be doing some deluxe figures next year and re-releasing Builder figures, like Kingpin, for example. So maybe they may re-release a Sandman and give him tons of accessories just like this. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, but it's a nice idea to sort of re-release those bigger figures with accessories they missed out. Hey, we may even get some legs for Cannonball. We can cross our fingers and hope, can't we? But yes, this Marvel Select, bravo Diamond Select, you've done a good job. As I said, I don't buy many of your figures, but when I do, they're decent. So I'm happy. So you let me know in the comments below, are you going to try and track this Marvel Select down, or are you sticking with the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure, or none at all? It is completely up to you. Let me know in the comments below. Always curious to hear your thoughts. But most importantly, people, you know what to do. Go to that videos tab. Go and check out some more reviews. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. And as always, my name is Dan W. And I shall see you on the next one.